Good evening. It is Thursday, July 23rd, 2026, and coming to you from Lonely Tree Media headquarters in Tacoma, Washington, this is the Best Lamb Sports Show. I'm your host, David Lamb. With me is my son, Parker. Say hello, Parker.
Hello, Parker.
It has been a while.
That's me.
Yeah, it's been a couple of Wednesdays since we've been on here.
And a couple Thursdays as well.
There was a vacation involved. There was a computer failure. There was a road trip. A lot of things, a lot of circumstances. But I mean, we're back, and better, because now that I have the brand new computer, I think things are going to be better.
Gosh, I hope so.
It couldn't have got worse than having a technical difficulty damn near every time we were on the air.
I'm getting a new computer here soon too. So
are you?
Yeah,
man, it's going to be great.
So in theory, we should be flying.
What I'm hoping is that if my internet capability around here is good enough, we start doing streaming again. I'd like to do streaming episodes so that way it's live and people can listen.
That's fair.
Yeah, but we'll do one step at a time, right? We were talking about this before we started, but I had got home early. I was supposed to have an appointment. Appointment got canceled. I got home early. I was hungry. I made a Costco frozen pizza, one of the 4-packs out of the 4-pack, little cardboard box 4-pack of pepperoni pizzas. It was, to me, super good. But I'm a big fan of frozen pizza. I like frozen pizza in general. I will probably give most frozen pizzas a higher mark than most people, just because I think it's great. We keep them around as emergency pizzas. When I don't want to cook, I throw in a pizza, right? So that being said, you've had Costco frozen pizzas. You had the same 4-pack, right? Like pepperoni. They come with the round ones and the little shredded ones, right? The pepperoni.
Right.
You're on a scale of 1 to 10 for frozen pizza. Where does that Costco pizza rank? Assuming you cooked it perfectly.
Yeah, the way I want to.
Right.
Let's say 5.
Really? Really?
I'm a harsh pizza critic.
Okay. So that being said, if that's a 5, what's the highest? What's your favorite? I know you do the Detroit ones.
So on
Motor
the
City
frozen
ones, right?
pizza scale,
yeah,
the Detroit Motor City ones are my favorite.
Okay.
Right. That's that. If there is a perfect frozen pizza for me, it's a 10. If
okay.
there is a worst frozen pizza for me, it's a Totino's pizza, and it's a 1.
You don't like the Totino's pizzas?
I would just rather eat something else.
Well, yeah, like,
they're just not good enough to make it worth it.
Okay.
However, I have had a Totino's pizza made by a friend where he added like a bunch of other toppings on top. Like he added ham, he added a bunch of other, like he had peppers, and he added like this sauce on top. And it was great. And I said, but what you did to make it great was make it not a Totino's pizza. You altered its DNA, and you were like, isn't it a good Totino's? Like, no, it's a good whatever new thing it is.
That's probably true. That's fair.
So if you have to use a lot of things to make your pizza better, it couldn't be that good. And I'll stand on this hill too. I think that includes ranch. If you need ranch to make a pizza bearable,
I just eat it. I eat it regardless. It's not that I need it. I didn't eat this one with ranch, but it's not that I need it. I just like it.
Some people do, but like Cassie will not eat a pizza without ranch because I think she just likes it. However, in my head, I'm like, the pizza should be plenty enough, and ranch is just an extra level of heaviness on a pizza.
How come nobody's come out with that pizza, like the frozen
ranch pizza?
It's like it's got both ranch and the sauce on it, because that's what you're wanting, is that combo. Honestly,
they have like chicken bacon ranch pizza.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the regular sauce. Doesn't have the red sauce on it. It just has the ranch.
Yeah, you're talking about combining red sauce.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Something that has both on it when you cook it, so that way you don't have to add ranch. It's already there. Anyway,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I see where you're getting with it.
I
I just I don't know.
I will
I'm
t-
picky on pizza.
I will tell you this: the Totino's pizzas, the little square ones, is that's what we're talking about, right? They're
Yeah.
like $2. They used to be like 90 cents. Um, I am a fan of those. I grew up eating those. We didn't
Sure.
have a whole lot of frozen pizza when I was
You guys didn't have California Pizza Kitchen in
negative.
Hood River, Oregon in the 80s?
No, Hood River, Oregon didn't have. I mean, it was Totino's or there was another brand. I can't remember what it was.
I'm actually surprised that Totino's has been around that long.
Oh yeah, Totino's and literally it was just they had like three kinds. They had a pepperoni. No, they had four. They had pepperoni, cheese, sausage, and a combination. And
Well, let me tell you what, they've abandoned one of those.
the combination or the
Yeah,
sausage.
because I feel like the people at Totino's, somebody will be like, "What if we made like a Hawaiian pizza?" Guy, you're doing too much.
Yeah, Hawaiian.
They'll eat. They just want the cardboard ones. Just send it to them.
I will say this about Hawaiian pizza, Hawaiian frozen pizza. I'm not. I haven't found the one Hawaiian frozen pizza that I go, this is great.
Agreed.
It's that seems to be eluding them in terms of frozen pizza. The Hawaiian
Reheating pineapple
yeah.
just does
it's weird.
Does not work for whatever reason. Or it's not bad. It's just
not
good.
And that's what I was just getting ready to say. We're not talking about bad pizza. None of this, even the Totino's, none of this is what I would call bad pizza because I don't know that there is a bad pizza.
You'd have to. Totino's is a 1. I mean, that's like a 5 on the normal lunch scale.
Right,
like
right.
It's a 1 for pizza, but it's up there normally.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if there's a lot of things I would not eat before the Totino's, right? Yeah. Anyway, I like the Totino's because they get crispy on the bottom and crunchy. I like the crispy crunchy. They need more toppings. It needs more sauce. It needs more whatever. Yes, absolutely. But I like the crispy crunchy way it comes out. Just it's more like pastry than it is. You know what I mean? The bottom is more like pastry. But I don't know what my favorite is. I don't know that I've had the Motor City ones. To be fair,
they're good. It's a Detroit style pizza, thicker crust. You cook it a couple extra minutes more than what it says. If your heater, like if your oven runs really hot, like some people's do, you want to cook it just to whatever it says.
Yeah.
The top end of whatever it says. My oven runs light for whatever reason, so I cook it a couple minutes past.
Right.
It's wonderful.
Okay.
It's wonderful. It's worth. It's 2 pizzas for $10.
Yeah, and I agreed, and that's really good. $5 is really good. I'm a big fan of the Screamin' Sicilian pizzas.
Those are really good too.
Yeah, I like those when I can find them on sale. I get them at the commissary, which is cheaper than the regular store.
I'd put those like a solid 6 or 7 on the frozen pizza scale.
And
they're climbing.
And somewhere in there's the DiGiorno ones, the rising crust ones. Those are pretty good.
Yes, I even actually like the DiGiorno, like classic crust ones. I don't see a lot of those. Cassie loves Red Baron. That's like her go-to pizza is Red Baron because she loves a really crispy crust.
Okay.
And you can do that on those, but I like a soft, kind of fluffier crust.
Yeah.
I just think that's what makes a pizza good.
I want my crust to be crunchy on the bottom and then soft and then have the toppings on it. That's what I want. And that's hard to find. You really can't do that because if you get too thick a crust, it isn't going to crisp up. If it gets too thin, it's all crisp.
And it's all crisp, and then it's just you're basically just eating a stick.
It's crunchy. Pizza sticks. It's crunchy.
Pizza sticks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then there's the follow-up question. What's the best slice of pizza you've ever had? Not frozen or like restaurant. Like what? Just total.
Oh, so Mellow Mushroom. In Tennessee, Mellow Mushroom, had like the best flavored, like a combination pizza that had all this stuff on it. Oh, it was delicious. Mellow Mushroom was like my favorite pizza place right now here. Forelli's.
Forelli's is really good.
Is a close second.
I really liked Forelli's. We went there
Shakey's
twice in one weekend when I was out there.
Which isn't a pizza place anymore. Shakey's, if you could get a Shakey's. Spooky's in the Dalles.
Spooky's is really good, but I find that I romanticize Spooky's.
Yeah,
and every time I go there, I'm a little like, this is pretty good, but it's not like.
No, it's not great.
I don't, and also their prices are high.
It's expensive.
Now.
Well, Forelli's is expensive.
Well, like every artisan quote unquote pizza place that isn't like a chain has crazy prices. I don't know when pizza got expensive or when people
became $30
okay with paying $30 for pizza. Like But every place does it now, including
Agreed.
Spookies.
It's weird.
But
Yeah, and I agree. But pizza in my opinion is probably my number one go-to food if I haven't just had it, if I didn't have it yesterday, you know what I mean? And somebody said, "Hey, let's go out to food." Oh, let's go have pizza. It's not not always. I can't just go eat pizza every day, but there are certain things I could eat every day. Chinese food. I can eat like General Tso's chicken every day.
Ooh. See,
right?
I love Panda Express.
Panda Express. I could eat that every day.
Teriyaki chicken, which I guess is Japanese food, but I love those types of foods. But I do have a limit on them.
Yeah.
And I have never found my limit with pizza.
I also can eat Mexican food every day if it's at a good Mexican place. There's a place over here called El Toro that has chorizo tacos, street tacos, and they're delicious. I could eat those all the time. That there's no limit. Yeah, I could eat that all the time. But there's
no way I could eat Mexican food every day. I would die.
And you know El Matador, right? Like the door in Yakima.
Oh yeah, the door.
Yeah,
dude, that place was awesome.
Yeah, they have a chorizo burrito that has egg in it, and it's crazy good. I can eat that all the time.
I all right. Hold on now.
Yeah.
I can eat a breakfast Mexican food all the time.
Yeah.
I cannot eat Mexican food all the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I could not eat tacos every day. I could not eat enchiladas every day. But I could eat anything with egg and tortilla and chorizo and cheese. I could eat that every day.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So I feel like there's breakfast Mexican food and real Mexican food, even though I know that it's weird to say real, but I feel like they're separate things. But I could do breakfast Mexican food every day. So long as it wasn't my only meal of the day.
I have the El Monterey frozen burritos down in the freezer. I mean, they're the applewood bacon, egg and cheese ones. They're delicious.
Those are good. Yeah. I like to get them, but Cassie's always like, I like to get them, but then Cassie will get upset with me because we'll get them, and then I will have one a day. And there's only how many in a box?
And she doesn't get any? Is that what it is?
Cassie will buy a box of things and be like,
yep.
All right, she'll eat one the next day, and then she won't touch it for 3 weeks.
Preaching to the choir. I agree.
And I'm like, what was the point of buying it?
I only got one of those. That's what you hear.
I
only got one of those. Yeah, well, it's been 3 months. They've been in there. It's not like you couldn't have had one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. I have to specifically go out of my way to be like, Cassie bought this ice cream. Don't touch it. Because if you touch it, it'll be like, I have watched her throw food out that I've specifically been like, I can't touch it.
Yeah.
Because if I touch it that night, she will want some.
Exactly.
And be disappointed by how much is left or how much I ate or whatever. So it's like, I'm just not going to touch it. And then she ends up throwing away that thing the next week.
That you could have eaten.
I could have eaten it
if
I wasn't trying to be considerate of your irrational feelings.
Agreed.
Not even irrational feelings, irrational cravings.
Yep, that's kind of we're walking. So also, okay, so we're not. I promise, folks, there'll be sports anyway. So, but we're walking through Costco, right? This is where I bought the frozen pizzas, just like a couple Tuesday. It was Tuesday night. We're walking through Costco, going through the frozen section, and your mom asked. She goes, "Well, where's the Chinese food? Where's the Asian food?" And I said, "Oh, well, it's right over here." So we go over there and we start looking at the Asian food. And I'm looking at like 4 or 5 different things. And I'm like, yeah, this would be good. So there's some bao, right? Which you got to cook just right. A bao is a weird thing. I like it when it's done.
I do like the bao that's in those little containers.
Right.
Like, yeah, I do like it though.
So
I could eat that every day.
So that's good. And then there's also some ramen that has chicken in it. There's like ramen bowls that have chicken in it. And you get like 8 or 9 of them or 8 of them or whatever in a box.
Yep.
And I point that out. And your mom's like, And then I'm like, okay, so look, there's orange chicken, right? Big old box of orange chicken. We put it with some rice. We make fried rice. Meh. And then I can't remember. There was something. There was like a bulgogi, which I love bulgogi.
Yeah, I've had the bulgogi thing as well.
Yeah, and she goes, meh. And I'm like, listen, if you're gonna meh everything, I mean, I can't buy one of these and just eat it myself because there's 40 of them, right? I mean, I don't know that I'm gonna get through them in time before they expire or get freezer burn. But we bought none of that, by the way. And I was disappointed because I was really sold that she was going to like the look of the ramen thing with the had the
Sure.
chicken in it, and she just said, "Nah, I don't want that."
She just bailed on it. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
yeah, I feel bad if I just buy like 50 of whatever at Costco because Costco's you can't buy two. So,
Well, except of the things you actually want. Those things come in small quantities.
well,
Like like the tortellini packs, like we get those all the time,
yeah,
and I love those, but it's only two meals.
yeah, but
It's like they could make this in a 5 pack and it'd be okay.
that's true. That's true. But I mean, like, there's so they're prepared meals. Like they have bulgogi that's prepared, and they have chicken alfredo and that kind of stuff. Those prepared meals, those are great because it's just literally one serving. You might have some leftovers, but it's one serving for two people, right?
Yeah.
And it's perfect. But the frozen stuff, if you go into the frozen section, now we're talking about, well, it comes with 6 bags of orange chicken. I don't need 6 bags. If she's not going to eat any of it, there's no way I'm going to eat 6 bags of that, right?
I'm telling you right now, we buy the orange chicken from there. I have some downstairs. They come in, it's a 2 pack.
Is it only a 2 pack? Are they
I'm
big though?
telling
It's
you,
a large, right?
it should be like a well, it's two large packs, but
Right.
it's like it's for like a family of 5 is what it
Okay, I see.
is.
So there's
So
lots of
yeah,
leftovers.
so in your case, yeah, if there's 2 people eating it, you'd have plenty of leftovers.
That's my problem though. Is I'm like, okay, I don't want to eat it today and tomorrow. I want to eat it today and a couple days from now, which is fine. But if I have to eat it like 3 times over the course of a week, it's probably too much.
Oh,
And
see, no,
especially if
I
she's not going
wanna
to
eat
help
it
me.
today and to wait, hold on. You will have leftovers of something and hold them off for a few days?
Mm-hmm.
The point of leftovers is to eat them the next
I
day.
don't want to eat it the next day. I want to eat it in 2 days because I don't want to have the same thing every night for 3 nights. I don't
Okay,
want that. Or lunch
no.
even
A
like
left okay, there we go. I was
yeah.
just about to say a leftover is not dinner the next night.
Well, see,
It's
but now you're
lunch the
talking.
next day or breakfast the next morning.
So now you're talking about eating it at dinner and breakfast or lunch. But I mean, that's even
Yeah,
closer together.
separate by like 12 hours. It's
No,
fine.
no. I eat something different. So I eat this, and there's leftovers. That's great. Then we make something else the next night for dinner, and we eat. Then we have 2 sets of left, and now it's okay because now I can go back to the other one the next day for lunch, and then I can go back to the other one for like every other day, that kind of a thing.
I'm picky about leftovers anyways. I do not like touching things that have been in the fridge past like 2, 3 days. Pizza
That's
being the obvious exception.
correct.
So if I save something, it is for the next day.
All right.
And if it's not eaten the next day, I probably am not going to eat it.
Okay.
Everyone's different.
All right.
We should talk sports now.
Good talk. Yeah, let's move on. Formula One. If you haven't been watching, Formula One was in Belgium for the Belgian Grand Prix this past weekend at Spa, and lo and behold, it did not rain. Which is weird, right? Because
Yeah, a little disappointing.
it rain is the big equalizer, and Spa is one of those things where we watched a race where Spa they did 3 laps and completed and called it a race and said this is done, right? Like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whenever that was.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
ticket sales controversy because they
Yeah.
have to complete. I think it was 5. I think they
5,
have to
might have been
complete.
5.
They did 5 laps under safety car,
Yeah, and that was it.
then called it,
Called it.
and then no one got their money back.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, that's really weird. And
And
but
that's
Spa's
when you realize that F1 was maybe a little money hungry.
well, yeah. Anyway, the only real excitement there was, to be fair, I think to me, the only real excitement in this race, George Russell lap 1 gets tagged, right? And it may have been his fault. It may have been Lewis's fault. I'm not blame. You can see the oversteer. You can see the snap on Lewis's car that caused him to go
which
into.
could also be a turn.
Yeah, but it caused him to go
Hard to
into George. But it also was because he was right behind another car, and
Yeah.
it's hard to steer. I mean, you don't get as much downforce, and all of a sudden you get snap.
And it was right at the point where the other car started to accelerate, so he's trying to throttle in through the apex,
Right.
and his car goes whoop.
And they gave him a penalty for it, which I don't necessarily agree with.
I just don't.
That's a
see
racing
how
incident.
You make those
Decisions,
decisions.
yeah.
It just it baffles my mind how they're like, oh well, he's clearly at fault. Like,
Yeah, I don't.
clearly?
Not clearly,
No,
no.
not even kind of clearly. Like
And
you could convince me, but
and I
you'd have to convince me.
and I saw the oversteer. I saw the snap. You could see him correct, and I understand that that's absolutely his car making contact with George Russell's car. And if
Yeah.
you want to call it a penalty because he did that, that's fine. Oversteer and oversnap, that happens all the time. It's constant. I mean, you get in the dirty air, you don't have downforce, your car, you go to steer, and all of a sudden it goes whoop, right? It happens to everybody at some point during the race. And
Because it happens to everybody, like if tires touch during like
yeah,
what are you gonna do? Who are you gonna
right.
blame?
Yeah, I don't think it's a blame at all. I think it's a racing incident. It just happens,
They
right?
should put bubbles around them. Let them bump into each other. No
Bumper
more
bumper
rocks on
cars,
the trap.
bumper cars.
Just let them bump into each other and fly all
I
around.
like this idea. Anyway, Lewis got a penalty. It's not the end of the world, although it did cost him a place technically in terms of time, right? I mean, I don't know, what did he get? Did he get the 5 or did he get the 10?
He only got the 5, but
so,
he ended 6 seconds behind Verstappen.
Yeah, so I mean, it would have been closer.
But that's because it extended a pit stop and changed their strategy.
Right.
So
yeah, I didn't find this race to be exciting. It normally is. Spa is normally an exciting race. This one lacked a little something, and I don't know what it was. Well, first, number one, both the McLarens. What is wrong with the McLarens? Why are they not?
I mean,
better.
It's all about the car.
Okay.
Like there's the drivers aren't any better. Max is still Max. Kimi is still Kimi. George is still George, and Lewis is still Lewis, and Lando's still Lando, and Oscar's still Oscar. The drivers aren't any better. It's the cars. The cars are different.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I watched this whole race. Kimi Antonelli is not a world champion driver. Period.
Right.
But he's got a world champion car.
He's going to
That's
be.
all that matters. That's all that matters. He went flying past whoever he had to pass late. Leclerc. Leclerc had fresher tires.
Yeah, no.
No, it was after the tire change. But he was only off by a little bit.
Yeah.
And he just sailed past.
There was no
like
chance.
he didn't exist.
Yeah.
And it was like, what are we doing here? Like it's not even racing if one car can be that OP to the others. From a competitive balance standpoint, they probably should look at nerfing Mercedes just to make it interesting. But what's going on with McLaren is just that they haven't figured out their car. Oscar's not worse. Lando's not worse. Their car is worse relative to everyone else. So It's just tough.
That's fair. It's okay. So that brings me to questions. I mean, okay, let's just sum it up. Kimi Antonelli's your winner, by a good 2 seconds over Charles Leclerc, but they're the only two that were really in contention. Max finishes third. He's almost 12 seconds back. Lewis Hamilton 17 seconds in fourth place. Lewis Hamilton gained some important points, so he moved into second place overall because of George Russell's DNF. Yeah, he had to do some work. He got another. He was under investigation after the race. I don't understand that. That one baffles me. Anytime you go and say, "Oh, well, we'll talk about it after the race." Okay, wait a minute. Does that mean there's not going to be a time penalty? Because I need to know that if I'm Oscar Piastri, if there's going to be a time penalty on the guy in front of me, right?
Yeah, 1,000%.
To be within the 5 seconds or the 10 seconds or whatever, I can push a little harder, or I can know that, oh, there's going to be a time penalty. I can just take it easy, right? But he didn't. You don't get that because you get, oh, we'll talk about it after the race. Oh, that's garbage to me.
Well, like the Monaco race. Was it Monaco this year? There was another race earlier this year where somebody got a post-race penalty. Oh, no, it was them taking away Oscar Piastri's third place.
Yeah.
By taking away a penalty.
Right.
Post-race.
Right.
Like those decisions, like if you can't make it within the confines of the race, if you want to convince me that it happened 200 feet from the finish line on lap 64 of 64, fine. It's going to be a post-race decision.
Right.
But if you can't make this decision within 2 to 3 minutes, there's no decision to be made.
Yeah. If it's not clear cut, if there's no evidence and it's not immediate where you look at the video and you go, oh yeah, that's a penalty.
But for them to be like on lap 30, be like, oh, we'll look at it after the race. Like, what the fuck are you doing for the rest of this race?
Yeah,
that's so busy.
That is exactly what I asked your mother when we were watching. I go, what do you think they're doing for the rest of the race?
just
They
just slamming Slim Jims and talking shit about drivers the whole time because they're not fucking watching the race.
I was
They can't be.
that
I
is
like this
exact.
Slim Jims.
That's
Exactly
what I said. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a
Especially
universal
over
Slim
there
Jims. Yeah,
in
universal.
France, right?
Yeah,
That's or
yeah.
Belgium. Sorry, that's where they're doing
They
it.
call them something else over there.
How do I
But
say Slim Jim and wait, what do they speak
they
there?
were beefies or whatever they.
Beefies. They're
Beefies.
slamming beefies.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I mean, there's no reason it should 30 laps.
I know.
It's an hour.
And
What are we waiting on?
and 44. It's 44 lap race because it's the longest track
It was
on
the
on the circuit, right? I mean, it's on the whole F1 calendar. It's the longest track. So these are minute 25, minute 30 laps, right? And you're if you've got 14 of them to go, right? Times a minute and a half. We're talking about 21 minutes to half an hour. You couldn't decide in a half an hour whether there's a penalty? Oh, that's frustrating. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that whole after. We'll decide it after the race.
Penalties after the race are
garbage.
Are just it feels like manipulation.
Right.
It feels like a way for you to decide, like, hey,
who wins or second or who's third,
or we can take it from that person, things like that.
Which team gets an extra point?
It feels cheap.
It does
to do things post race. If
Agreed.
you can't get it done during the race, I mean, yeah, I guess the NBA issues technical fouls in post. Hockey issues penalties in post. They'll upgrade penalties in post. All sports technically do it, but the difference between hockey and basketball and racing is that what you said, the person behind you has decisions to make now
based on what he thinks is going to happen.
Based on what he thinks is going to happen.
Right.
So I think there was a race last year where Oscar came in second.
Yeah.
No, he came in second because he didn't push because he assumed the first place person was going to get a penalty.
Right.
And then they didn't end up giving it to him after the race.
Right.
And it was like, dude, like you just hose somebody else's entire strategy. And my strategy can't be crash into everyone, hope they don't penalize me too bad.
I mean, that's maybe it can.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe actually
at the
it'd be more entertaining.
Yeah. This race over now, so we're 3-6. We're 10 races in. We had 2 races that we didn't have, right? And we've got 12 races to go, so we're just under halfway.
And honestly, we could have done the whole season in the first half of the year.
Agreed.
We didn't
with all the breaks.
We didn't. We've taken 30 weeks to do 10 races or whatever. Yeah, I guess it's more like 25 weeks or whatever.
Silly. But so Kimi Antonelli's your driver's leader for the year, 204 points. Lewis Hamilton moves into second, passes George Russell, who did not finish. So Lewis picks up 12. He's 5 points ahead of George Russell. He's got 159. He's 45 points behind Kimi Antonelli. That's not a lot, but it is a lot.
It's a lot.
I mean, I want to say that it's a lot, but Lewis has actually made up.
Is he made up that ground?
11, 21 points over the last 4 races.
It's helped that Kimi has had 2 DNFs, I think.
He had one DNF, and then he finished 8th. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or finished and got 8 points, whatever it was.
He fell way back, and then
yeah. So
it's helped that Kimi's had some issues.
It's true.
To put Lewis in this position.
It's true. Lewis has been right there, and he picking up that win, 1 win in that period, and a second place. You know, he's all right. I would like to see Lewis. I mean, if we're gonna pick one, I'd like to see Lewis win the whole thing. But I don't know that his car is good enough.
He's going to have opportunity down the stretch of his career to win it.
Yep,
possibly, but
maybe if he stays on a good car, right? Like
if the car stays good. I mean, yeah, because if Mercedes is shit next year, then doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you know? I mean,
and George Russell has had 2 DNFs. He had one in Monaco and now the one in Belgium, and George and with a win in Austria in the middle, right?
Which is crazy,
right? So it's kind of wonky. He's hit or miss.
Mr. Famine with George
Russell.
Yeah,
his car is crazy.
Leclerc's been pretty consistent.
Charles Leclerc, yeah.
The McLarens have been getting better because they started the season really tough. Max has gotten way better, but I think that hole's just way too big.
His first 3 races, he had 12 total points. Since then, Miami 14, Canada 17, did not finish in Monaco, but then 12. 18, 3, and 15 this last race. He's been picking up points.
I would call that Monaco one a DNC, did not compete.
Yeah, that's true.
He never crossed the starting line.
That's true. That's a good point.
Call it a DNF feels just disrespectful. If your car won't go, that's not on the driver.
And it still feels funny because George Russell, if he had finished this race, assuming he had gotten 4 or 5 points, your driver standings would be Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull.
It wouldn't have changed too
it wouldn't,
much.
yeah. That's to me, that's very. It tells a lot of where the teams are, right? So, and then your constructor series, Mercedes with 358 points, they're ahead by 70 at this point, 73 points at this point. Ferrari has made up 25 points in the last 2 races, so they're catching a little. But everybody else is falling behind. So, I mean, it is what it is.
So you can hear my dog whining in the background.
It's fine.
She's so frustrated with me because she's trapped upstairs right now. At what point, if you're Aston Martin, is it no longer cost efficient to race?
So we were talking about that too.
To just freaking retire every race. They're retiring.
I made this comment to your mother during the race. I said, so at what point is Cadillac and Aston Martin both going, okay, well, here we go, we're starting. Okay, it's lap 12. You know what? Let's retire the car because you got a mechanical issue.
But that's not fair because Cadillac is operating at an expected deficit.
Yeah, but
they were not expected to be highly competitive. Yes, you want to be, but it's the first year of new regulations and it's the first year of your team, all this stuff.
Yes.
Aston Martin's been a team for how long?
I'm not blaming them. What I'm saying is at some point in time when you know your car's not competitive, there comes a point where you go, hey, we're on lap 8 or 9. We're already 3 minutes behind.
Maybe that's what we're actually seeing.
Let's just stop.
Maybe that's what we're actually seeing. Maybe it's literally just they're just calling it.
Yeah.
They're calling it early. They're like, nah.
Because
they're all retiring before like the halfway point of every race.
Because if you stop for no reason, I think you get penalized. But if you stop saying, oh, well, there was a mechanical issue.
Well, Fernando stopped at 42. Lance stopped at 25.
These guys are
Lance did half the race, I suppose, and he almost did the full race.
And at what point in time do you just get rid of Aston Martin as a team and say let's go back to 20?
I think that the F1 as an entity, I don't know how exactly it works in terms of ownerships of teams and things like that.
Right.
But I think F1 as an entity, F1's better with Aston Martin in it. I think it's good for the sport. I think it's a classic heritage team. They need to force the sale of the team.
Yeah.
They need to intervene and say, you need to place a competitive team or you will be remanded to F2 until you can compete.
Yeah. Well, Lance.
Basically, you'll go down.
Lance Stroll needs to be gone and his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But I know sorry, I keep wanting to call them Mercedes. Cadillac. They're new, and I get it, and they're just figuring things out.
They're expected to be competitive this year,
and I'm okay with that. I want you to go out and try. I don't want this to be one of those things where people just say, we don't. Let's just quit after whatever because we know we're not. Why would I race the car 44 laps when I can only race it 20 and get the same result? Right?
Yeah.
Why would I put that kind of stress on the car or whatever?
You see how expensive gas is?
Oh, I get it.
Just literally save gas.
I'm sure their fuel is more expensive than mine. At
least Alonso has 2 points.
Here's your question.
Season.
Ready? F1 questions for you. Kimi Antonelli is going to win this year's Drivers' Championship.
Probably.
Okay.
He's in a rocket ship.
Lewis Hamilton will finish second.
That's up to George Russell. If George Russell competes the way he can compete and his car doesn't blow up and he doesn't put himself in bad positions, George Russell will be number 2.
Okay.
It's all things that I think are well outside of Lewis Hamilton's control.
Yep.
I think is the best Lewis Hamilton can possibly do is 2.
Yeah.
And that's just given that George Russell has more stumbles. Because even with George Russell's had a bunch of stumbles and he's still in third, only 5 points behind.
Unless Kimi Antonelli has some sort of horrible crash and he can't drive. Right? I mean, Lewis Hamilton.
And even then, they're just going to put George in Kimi's car
but
and figure it out.
He won't get the points, though. He still has whatever points.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway,
But I hope Lewis finishes second. It'd be nice to see him back in the top 3
yeah,
at the end of the season. I think George will figure it out. But I'm looking at George, and I mean Lewis had some stumbles too. He had 12
yeah,
points this race, 12 points in
yeah. I
Australia, 8 points
mean,
in Japan. Like he's had some not so great things happen,
yeah.
but I don't know.
But he's
And also Leclerc's in this mix. Leclerc's been underperforming as a whole outside of Great Britain where he won,
right.
but he's in the mix. He's in the conversation.
Over the last 4 races, Lewis Hamilton leads F1.
I
Just
mean,
FYI.
that's
So.
but it helps that over the last 4
I
races,
hear you. George did not finish. Kimmy didn't finish. Charles did not finish.
That's right.
I know. I get it, but I'm just saying that I mean, you still got to stay in the race.
In the races where both George and Kimmy finish, both of them,
When they finish?
Yeah, Lewis has placed what? 22 points there, 10 points
10 points.
there.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. One of
21.
those had
I guess it hasn't
a sprint
been bad.
race.
I'm giving it a lot of grief, but it hasn't been bad. But yeah, I hope so.
All right, here's your quick trivia F1 trivia question. You ready? Okay. It's not really trivia. I mean, kind of is. All right, here you go. How many drivers so far this year have 0 points?
I saw that a second ago. It's 3?
Oh, it's 4.
Oh, because I know it's Stroll, it's Perez, it's Bottas,
and one more. Who is it?
Where the hell is the other driver who doesn't have any points? It's not Alonso. He's got 2 points, right?
He's got 1.
Okay, he's got 1. So it's not Alonso.
It's not Alonso.
Other driver,
right? See, and that's where the trivia comes in, because it's like, who else is right there? Who else should be in that group?
Man, I don't know. I don't know who's.
It's Nico Hulkenberg. He's got no points. Yeah, the Hulk has no points.
Nico Hulkenberg.
Yeah, Hulkenberg. Anyway, all right. Next week is Hungary this coming weekend. The Hungaroring. Before we have our summer break, which seems like we're always on break, so that's kind of a thing. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of.
It's just gonna feel like another couple weekends without F1.
So they do this July 26th, then they have like 4 weeks off. August 23rd, the Dutch Grand Prix is the next one at Zandvoort.
How English of them to be like, we're on holiday
for 4 weeks. Yeah. And then
again, I can't wait to watch McLaren post videos of Lando Norris in Spain jumping off of yachts.
Yeah, because that's what they do, right? They post all these. Look at what they did while they were on vacation.
Well, they're all 20-year-old kids.
Well, that's true. That's a good point.
Actually,
some of them are 25-year-old kids.
Actually, I'm looking at it. A lot of them are older.
Fernando,
you do have Kimmy, you have Hajar, you have
and a lot of the new kids.
Colapinto, Bierman, Bortoletto. They're all pretty young.
Also, I made this statement this past weekend. This statement is I feel like I joined watching Formula One at the wrong time. Because my expectation now is chaos. Because when I started watching it, it was Max and it was Lewis, and that someone was crashing into the other one every single race. And
the peak of chaos.
And if not those two, somebody else was crashing out or catching on fire or whatever, right? There was something going on, right? And it was Yuki Tsunoda slamming into the pit lane wall as he came out of pit lane, right? There was something that was chaos. It was always chaos. And now I'm like, there's hardly any crashes even. Nobody even freaking crashes into anything anymore.
Well, I'd say this is apparently what it was like pre Verstappen Hamilton conflict.
Yeah.
So
I'm upset about it because I feel like it's boring now.
Made the cars smaller, so in theory they could pass better, and
sure.
The overtake modes are OP, so they can just get by each other quicker. So
Max says, by the way, that he's fed up with complaining about the engines. On the car.
He's complaining about complaining.
He's complaining about complaining now. Yeah, just FYI. There's that. He's now.
he's going to be on McLaren next year.
Oh, maybe.
That's
the story.
That's the primary rumor is that Verstappen and Oscar Piastri will swap seats.
Oscar Piastri was this close to being a Formula One champion. Let's be fair. This close.
And McLaren made it clear they'd rather have Lando do it.
And now they're getting rid of it.
And now it's soured. Well, if you were the better driver of two, and you're the better worker of two, and your boss says you're this close to being employee of the month, and your boss goes, well, I'm gonna stop giving you the good assignments. I'm gonna start giving them to him so that way he can get some easy points and win it.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what the hell, dude? I
Yeah.
just busted my ass to get here. It's completely sour. That relationship's toast. So yeah, Oscar needs to leave because I think he
Okay.
could do
And that's fair.
better elsewhere. But if he went to Red Bull,
Yeah.
it's him and Hadger. They're both young, but he is the clear number one, I think, of those two.
Hmm.
The conflict becomes the other way. Verstappen, Lando on a team.
That's interesting.
Lando's been the baby of that team for a long time.
Right.
Are you all of a sudden gonna just bend the knee to Verstappen and let him take control?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't think so. And I think I'm telling you right now, if you pit Lando Norris when you should be pitting Verstappen, hell hath no fury.
Yeah.
Oscar, as smug as he is, was quiet and would make little comments, but was never outright. You think Max is not going to go on an F-bomb tirade because you pitted the wrong person and call you an idiot and a dumbass? And do you think Zach Brown is going to tolerate that?
I don't know. That's going to be an interesting dynamic. Those two.
I'd love to see those two screaming at each other in the pits.
that might be the chaos we were after.
Incredible. All right. We might get it back next
year.
We
might get it back. I don't know. It was interesting. All right.
We'll see,
let's talk about the World Cup because that happened.
That whole thing happened in between our last two shows.
Between the whole thing was started and finished in between our last two shows. I'm just going to say this, and if you're looking at this picture, and you should be, I love the smoke dues, the smoky things with the flags. I love those. It was
pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. They couldn't do all of them. They couldn't do like the cross. It's only vertical things. And
I get it. It's really easy for this one, yeah.
But it's so cool looking. I mean, how has that not been a thing ever before till this point? But also you have smoke on the field. It gets a little smoky. I get it why you wouldn't necessarily do it, but anyway. I like this. I like the setup. I like the beginning, the way they did the thing. I'm not sure about the flags with the one curved bottom. It's kind of weird. And the people in the middle. Normally it's two straight lines of the people, of the players, right?
Yeah.
Like way at the front. And the flags are kind of canted. I don't know. This was a weird setup. Cool. It's okay. But I like the smoke. Thought the smoke was cool. Just wanted to say that because I can. If you didn't watch the World Cup, it was probably one of the more exciting events I've ever seen in terms of World Cups. Just based on the number of extra time games, shootouts, those close games, last minute goals, lots of those. And then if you are a big fan, this foul on Enzo Fernandez was absolutely a foul. He can't even argue. I know he's got his hands up. He's going to argue anyway, but had he not gotten
the hands go up, you're probably guilty.
Had he not gotten the yellow card before, right? For I think dissent, right?
Yeah.
He was angry.
Yeah, he was chewing out the ref after or something.
Yeah, he got mad about not getting a call and he got a foul, he got a yellow card. Then this one, which was actually going in 2-footed late, was a yellow card. And so he gets the red and gets sent off.
What was funny about this is when he got the first yellow card.
Yeah,
I told Cassie I was like this guy. Because I'd watched most of these games this season and I'd seen him on other teams. But I told her I was like this guy. I was like he's a pain in the ass.
He is.
Like he seems like a real asshole on most teams. I remember he played for Chelsea for a while. I don't know if he still does, but I remember like anytime people deal with him, like he's constantly being like, yeah, this is a guy we don't like very much. He's just a dick the whole time.
Yeah.
And then he got the yellow card for dissent. And I was like, see, I told you he's a dick. And then later on he got ejected and was chewing people out on the way off the field. And I'm like, see, I just felt so vindicated having him get ejected from the game. But he did, he got 2 yellows. He didn't technically he wasn't issued a straight red.
No,
he got 2 yellows.
The second yellow is what caused him to leave. But that also led them to be a man down, and that's what led Spain to score their first goal and win this thing 1-0. They did have to hold on. Here's my question. And you watched these games. Yeah. Here's what I don't understand. Argentina up to that red card point, right? Even up to the point where I think Spain scored their first goal. did not have a shot.
Hadn't done anything.
A single shot.
Anything.
How is it?
It was one of the most embarrassing
Yeah.
performances by a favorite
Right.
that I've ever seen.
How is it that once Spain scored the goal and went up 1-0, that Argentina all of a sudden can get shots on goal? Why?
Well, Spain's
why would you change anything? You're crushing them.
Because you gotta play
No,
against
you
the refs.
don't.
And I will say, like,
Yeah.
foot on the gas is a big deal for me. I like it. Stay pushing. But I get how when they won't call things anymore, right? Like there were a lot of possessions late in that game, or a lot of times late in that game where Lionel Messi dispossessed somebody and they didn't call a foul that they were calling earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like, if they're going to change the way they ref it, we have to change the way we play it.
Yeah, but
they're not going to send off a second Argentinian, and they're definitely not going to card Lionel Messi. So you have to kind of like play on your heels a little bit. You have to play defense against that attitude.
Brings another question in that I had, which was if Messi gets the red card he deserved in match 1.
In match 1, yeah.
Right, when he stepped on that guy's calf.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If he gets the same red card that Balogun got, right, and misses match 2 because of it, how different is this World Cup? How different is Argentina? Do they still win? Maybe, because they're better than all the teams in their group. But how much different are we talking? Because now he's not in the scoring lead because he's going to miss a game and a half, right?
Yeah.
And that's a lot. There's a lot going on there, and it becomes a whole different feel to this thing. He didn't get that card. You're right. He doesn't get those same calls. He does that. It's Lionel Messi. You're not going to penalize him for anything, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Unless he goes up and shoves the ref. It's not going to happen.
And even if he did that, the ref would probably ask for his autograph
on the red card.
On the red card, like this is for you.
Sign this.
Also,
yeah,
can you sign this for me?
This will be worth $1 million tomorrow.
Well, that's not true. I shouldn't say never. I didn't often feel like Argentina was legitimately the better team in their games. They should have lost to Egypt.
That was one of my first World Cup questions. Argentina was definitely helped along by officiating and the desire to see Messi win a last World Cup.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
They should have lost to Egypt.
Yeah.
And then who did they play after Egypt? Was it Morocco?
I don't remember. They should have lost.
I think it was Morocco. They also got a really crazy draw in their path. They gave them a lot of easier quote unquote easier teams.
Because they're the number 1 seed technically.
Right, because they got a good number 1 seeding.
Right.
They got a favorable seeding, which then led to favorable matches down the stretch. But yes, they got helped along almost the whole way. I never watched them and went, wow, this team's amazing. I watched them and went, wow, they're getting really lucky with these calls.
Their group was Austria, Algeria, and Jordan. And I'm just going to say this. Algeria, 29th. Austria, 23rd. In the newest FIFA rankings, by the way. And who's the other one I said? Jordan. Jordan is 73rd. Jeez. So that was the highest one they had was 23 to play, right?
That's a pretty good deal for them, yeah.
That's a pretty good deal. Anyway, but that happened quite a bit. There's quite a bit of that in the World Cup in general. The teams that get seeded highly, Spain. Spain's group was Cape Verde, Uruguay, and Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Right? Uruguay was probably the highest of those group, and they were 20th. Right? So that was the highest team they would have to play. Yeah. So USA ran in the same thing, right? USA got placed into a good group. USA was 17th, and Turkey was 22nd. That was the highest group, and so it's a closer match because you're not ranked as high, but you're still not playing a top ranked team. This was my problem. So the U.S. Here's my question for you. Let's just sum this one up. Spain wins 1-0 over Argentina to take home the World Cup. They're second. Also, it was the 7th shutout in this World Cup by Spain.
Jeez.
7 shutouts in 8 games is ridiculous. I don't even know how to say how good that is. They gave up one goal, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check my numbers here. So Spain had 5 goals in the group stage, none against, right? And then they beat Austria 3-0,
Yeah.
Portugal 1-0, Belgium 2-1. That was the only goal they gave up the entire World Cup.
Yeah.
And then they beat France 2-0, and then Argentina 1-0.
Yeah.
Jeez. One goal. They gave up one goal.
They should have beaten Argentina 3-0.
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah, it should have been more than that.
A lot more if things weren't carried on.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. That one goal in that many games, 7 shutouts is a World Cup record, obviously, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, that to me was just crazy. But they guess what they get? September 26th, they play in the UEFA Nations League against England. So
yeah,
it doesn't get easier. So anyway, let me ask you this: the United States. What did you think of the halftime?
It was pretty fun.
Yeah,
it was cool. The Madonna thing was weird. I didn't quite understand Madonna's presence in it all.
Yeah,
but whatever. And the car thing was weird with Ronaldinho and who was the other guy who was there?
I don't remember who
wouldn't just stop smiling the whole time. It was so strange.
Yeah, it was
the
weird.
Ted Lasso part, which I sent you this picture of, was cool. I thought that was a real fun way to break up 2 moments in the whole thing. Although I hated the song he picked. What are we doing here? It's an exciting event. Why are we playing a slow, sad?
It needs to be an
song?
upbeat thing. Yeah, I agreed.
Yeah,
agreed.
But it was cool getting a lot of people there. It didn't blow my mind, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
I've seen worse shows.
I've seen worse Super Bowl shows. So there's that.
Yeah.
England beat France for third in a 6-4 game. Yeah. Right, that was a lot of goals. I mean, if you didn't get a chance to watch that on that last Saturday, that's 10 goals, man. Whoo! But and I thought France was the best team in this tournament. I really did. Heading into the semifinals, I thought for sure this was France's to win. And then they laid the egg against Spain, and then which everybody did. So I mean, I guess I shouldn't have been surprised that they didn't score. But then to give up 6 goals to England, whoo, that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped watching when it was 4-0.
Yeah, that's a lot of goals.
I think it was 4-0 at the half, and I was like, okay, this has gotten out of hand.
This is dumb,
and
right?
Apparently, it got good again.
Yeah, I mean, they came back to score, but it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't good. Anyway, so that was for third place. That was on Saturday, the third place game.
I don't like a third place game in this tournament.
There's really nothing to play for.
Think about any other bracket play. NBA, is there a third place game?
No.
NFL?
No, none of it. No.
Baseball?
Because there wasn't a 5th place game.
Hockey? There's no third place game in anything.
Right.
Except for apparently the World Cup. Who gives a shit?
Right. Yeah, this
game didn't need to happen. If Mbappe would have blown out his knee and Harry Kane would have died on the field, they would never have a third place game again. But that's a risk you take playing in 100-degree weather for no reason.
Agreed. I feel
it was stupid. I couldn't believe they did it.
There were a number of things though that like about the World Cup. Let's number one, let's talk about the fact that Mexico played like all of their games at home.
Well, they're a host nation.
I'm of the belief is this is just me. We had 3 host nations, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Canada, your first game is gonna be at home, right? Where do you want to play it? Right? You get to pick Vancouver, Toronto, wherever. You guys pick it. Yeah. America, same. You gotta you pick which town you want to play that first game in, and Mexico also. After that, it should have been a reward for getting to the knockout round, where if Mexico gets to the knockout round, but you've already got these sites predetermined, that's part of the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you have to, right?
I guess to sell the tickets. Yeah. But if you could have done it that way, where you say, okay, you make it to the knockout round, you can play this game at home. If you win your group, they could have set it up that way. If you win your group, you're playing at home, which they did. The United States never left the West Coast, right? So
that sounds right. Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of weird. So the rest of the United States didn't get to see the United States play. But I didn't like the way that the home games were set up. I understand the host nation thing and you can't get away from it. But how come the United States didn't play in Vancouver? How come the United States didn't play in Guadalajara? Just one of the
Well,
games.
did Canada play in the U.S.?
I don't think so. I
So Canada
don't.
didn't play in the U.S. The
Let's go
U.S. didn't
look.
play outside of the U.S. and Mexico didn't play outside of Mexico.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like that's the reward for being a host nation, for
Yeah.
accommodating these massive amounts of people. Like it kind of sounds like that's the deal.
Let me see. Let me see what Canada did. I don't know that I can tell this. Let's see. So in Canada's group, this was World Cup. So they played um, Bosnia
Yeah.
in Toronto. Okay, and then they
Yep.
played Qatar. They played in. I can't see it. Where's the? How come that doesn't have this? Where it's
Uh,
from? They played
Sometimes they kind of obscure that stuff, which is a pain in the butt. But looks like the
Vancouver.
Qatar game was Vancouver. Yep.
Yep. And then they played the last one, which was Switzerland.
They played Switzerland
Yep. And Switzerland was
in Vancouver.
in Vancouver, right? So they played all of their games at home until they got to the knockout round, and then because they didn't win their group, they had to go on the road, which I don't know where they played. Let's go look.
California, Inglewood.
California. So they had to go to had to go to America to play a game. So Canada did
Yeah.
play in the U.S. only because they made it to the knockout stage,
And only because they didn't win their round.
right? And Mexico never left Mexico because they lost at home.
Then they played Morocco. Sorry, they played Morocco after that. And the Morocco game was Houston, Texas. So yeah, so then
Yeah.
they played Inglewood and Houston.
Right.
Sorry, I was looking at the
Because
different
they
things,
beat South Africa, right?
And they beat South Africa, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't. I'm not a huge. I think they should have spread that around. You know what I mean? So it made it so that it was less home field for everyone. I mean, you know that Mexico was going to their games, the good games were going to be in Estadio Azteca. You know they're going to play in Mexico because they don't lose there, and that's where they wanted to play their home. Great, but the United States has like 15 cities, right? So which one do you play in? Which one's the best one for your team? I don't know the answer to that. But Seattle was a great venue for soccer. Yeah.
Apparently it went well. So
well, there's a lot of soccer fans just in general, but Canada only had two places, Vancouver and Toronto. I mean, to be fair, there's only like 3 cities in Canada.
I was gonna say, where the hell else are you gonna play it?
Montreal would be the only other place.
No, Montreal.
Oh, whatever.
Montreal have a stadium like that.
That's true, but they got a team, so I mean, don't they? Still, anyway, didn't they? I know maybe they don't.
CF Montreal. They do have a team. Let's see where they play. They play in Saputo Stadium.
I don't know where
Montreal. That is a capacity of 19,000.
Perfect.
It is a small stadium.
We call it intimate.
No, we call it small when we're trying to sell tickets.
When we're trying to sell tickets, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you this about World Cup. Yeah. The USA underachieved. Yes or no?
No, they achieved appropriately.
You think so?
I feel like real life expectations versus inflated hype expectations are two different things. People thought the U.S. was going to make a deep run because you're at home. How could you lose at home? Home field advantage is a huge deal to Americans.
Right.
That was overinflated.
Okay.
They're not as good as a lot of the teams they played.
Well, they
not they play, but they're not as good as a lot of the teams in this tournament. Even if they did manage to sneak through Belgium, I don't know if they even get through the next round.
No, they would have played Spain.
And Belgium's been playing soccer for
well,
how long? Like
here's why I say here's why I say this. The United States was ranked 17th coming into this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
They beat Paraguay handily, but Paraguay was 41st.
Right.
They beat Australia 2-0. Australia's 27th. They lost to Turkey in a game that I understand they didn't have to win and they didn't play.
They weren't trying to win it. Yeah,
Turkey's 22nd, but it still counts as a loss. The World Cup standing, the FIFA standings don't necessarily take that into consideration. It is a loss for your national team to the 22nd ranked team. And they beat Bosnia. Okay, good. Bosnia is 64th heading into this tournament.
Right.
That's the lowest ranked team they played. And Bosnia gave them trouble. Bosnia was not easy.
Right.
And then they got crushed by Belgium the same way they got crushed by Belgium in a friendly earlier this year.
Would we say it was the same way?
Yeah, they lost 5-2 and 4-1. I'm going to say that's 3 goals, and it's the same.
The score is not. Here's where I'll defend the U.S. because I still feel like they were appropriately. We're probably going to lose this game. 4-1 is not indicative of that game. You had that goalie's crazy stuff where he kicked the ground
Yeah, I
and
got it.
left the defender back there to do God knows what. Like
Yep.
there was some shenanigans in that game. Realistically, sans shenanigans, that game is 2-1. Still a
Sure.
loss because I think that they were not as good of a team. But it was not a 4-1 loss the same way that a team that gives up all of us, like a team that scores a garbage goal late in football
Mm-hmm.
makes it a 30 something to 20 something blowout. They're up 14 now. It's a blowout. Not really. Like the game was not quite what the final score was. 4-1. That game was. It got out of there. It got out of hand faster because those things happened earlier. I think they happened in the first half. I think one of the goalie thing was in the first half. Maybe I actually can't remember now. But
Yeah.
regardless, I thought they were going to lose the game. Losing was, I think, they thought was what was going to happen. The way they lost was a little strange because of the craziness in two of those goals. So I think if that game's 2-1, you're feeling very differently about it. You're going, oh, they were competitive in it. But like, yeah, you can't really remove all of the craziness and take it out of the final score. But to say the final score and not talk about it, if I told you a game was 10-1, but you later found out that there was 9 red cards,
Yeah.
would you still be like, oh, they just kicked their ass? It's like,
Yeah.
no, it was slightly different than just kicking their
Uh,
ass. They only had one guy playing defense and a goalie.
yeah.
That's it.
And that's fine.
It's not the same. So that's what I mean is like the way in which it happened was a little unusual, but I did think they were going to lose it. So that's why I said, to answer your question, was this overachieving, underachieving, or accurate? It was accurate. I feel like they were going to lose this game.
Yeah, well, to me it was the United States never was in this. I know it was 1-1. I get it. You can tell me.
Wasn't it tied at one point?
Yeah, but that's not. It wasn't. It was tied because the U.S. got a free kick and converted. If they hadn't gotten the free kick, they don't score. There's zero chance that the U.S. scores in this game. Zero. They would have had zero. So they got lucky to get a free kick and convert it because Tillman got a deflection. Because honestly, he did the exact same kick he did the last time he scored, and if it hadn't been deflected, the goalie had read it. He was going to catch it. So it got deflected and it went in. Okay, great. You got a deflection goal off of a free kick, off of a foul. That's the same thing as if the goalie makes a fuck up. I mean, to me, that's a defender making a screw up in a bad spot, and you got lucky. You got a kick.
But you can't compare a bad foot placement to freaking kicking the turf. And then the guy who's back to defend.
I get it, but you have to be better. What I'm saying is you have to be better than that. You can't make those kind of mistakes at this level, period. Otherwise, people convert.
Also, Christian Pulisic got hurt.
Yeah.
Our best player.
Yeah.
Singularly best player.
Every tournament.
Yeah, we know he's always hurt. Yeah. He got hurt, though, in this game. He left.
Yep.
Early. It was pretty early, right? Yeah, he left when it was 1-1.
I'm surprised he was in this game. I'm surprised he played as long as he did.
Agreed, but we're not talking about his past injury issues. We're talking about what happened within the context of the game to give you the kind of crazy outcome that you got, which is that it was 1-1. Christian Pulisic got hurt. A goalie kicked the ground. A defender didn't just handball the ball and just take the penalty and let him get a free kick. But at least your goalie's in goal. It's the same fucking difference. If I'm standing last man back and I'm a defender and somebody's rocketing a ball towards me, I am punching that shit to the moon. I will take the yellow card for intentionally touching the ball. And fuck it. Better. It's fine with me because it doesn't matter because it's a goal either way. Just do it.
It's a red card and you'll be out.
Do the job. But also, that guy screwed up 3 other plays in this game. That long-haired fucking guy in the back, the defender. Yep. He screwed up 3 plays in the game. 2 of them led to goals. That was one of them.
Here's the problem. This is what I said at 10 minutes into this game. Here's what I told your mom. The U.S. is down 1-0, right? At this point.
Yeah.
I said, they're too slow. They aren't making decisive passes. They're not making informed passes. They're passing the ball like pre-programmed things. Oh, you pass it to me, I pass to him. You pass to me, I pass to him. And Belgium's reading it. They're taking it. They're stealing the ball. They're possessing the ball. The United States looked slow, small, right? They looked unable to compete size-wise. And that was what you got to be bigger. The United States has to get bigger than Christian Pulisic. They got to get bigger. Don't tell me that Erling Haaland is not a better player than Christian Pulisic. He's way better. He's not just better. He's way better. Why is he way better? Not only fast, But if you come and bump him, he isn't losing the ball. He's got the ball. You can't just knock him off the football. He's got it. He's going to score.
Understood.
So
Agreed.
that's where I say the United States' best player is undersized. He's fast.
Yeah.
Okay. But the next set of players, we're relying on speed. Balogun's not a big guy. He's not solid. You're going to knock him. Those are your two strikers.
Right.
You need someone who can control the ball in the box and turn and score. That's the United States hasn't. They used to have that. Josie Altidore was that. There was a couple guys that were like that, but there's not. They're not big enough. And so when you run into a team whose defenders are big and strong and capable, not just big and strong. Bosnia's defenders were big and strong. Belgium's defenders are big and strong and very good. So they had no chance. There was zero chance the United States was going to score unless they got that foul and that particular thing or a penalty shot. There was no chance. And I just didn't like the way that looked. The whole presented itself as you're being muscled, you're being out hustled, you're making bad passes, you make bad decisions, you make stupid mistakes when you get frustrated, and then you lose a game by 3, which they did.
It feels like we're against each other, but we're actually not. We both agree U.S. was the worst team.
Oh, absolutely.
This was an appropriate place for them to lose.
Yeah.
Based on all things that presented themselves.
Right. But
that says it. Yeah.
But I got tired of listening to the announcers talk about how why not us? Because you're not big enough or strong enough.
That is why I started this whole entire thing with the hype versus the reality.
Right.
The reality was that this is a game we probably should have lost. The hype said we should have made it to the final because Donald Trump can make phone calls and this and that. And why not us? And we believe, and I believe in all this shit, and just blah, 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 blah. But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, you have to get on the field and you have to play the match. And it was 2-1, and then mistakes happened to allow it to balloon up. Yeah. One of them was in the 93rd minute.
Well, that was
so it's like
Lukaku,
the reason this game was, if that game is 2-1 down the stretch of the game, like down like the 80th minute, I feel like it's an entirely different energy than being down 3-1 after that disastrous goal that you gave up.
I will tell you this: after it became 2-1, I never felt like the United States had a chance. Never. There was not once where I said, "Oh, this is now they got control of this game." No, never.
I mean, control. No.
You have to have control of the ball and possession. Hold on.
You're saying a couple different things.
No.
Did I ever feel like they had control? No.
You have to have control to win.
Did they ever feel like they had a chance? Sure. Until the 57th minute when they gave up a back-breaking shenanigan goal.
Yeah,
From that point forward, it was even clearer that it wasn't going to happen. Yeah. Not because it was 3-1, but because that was a morale breaker. That was a, what the fuck are you doing, goalie? What the fuck are you doing, Tim Ream? What the fuck is going on right now? How the fuck? Like, it's just all of those things at once. Combine that with the fact that you're undersized and you're playing a very robotic style of offense that doesn't seem to actually get you anywhere. You can't possess the ball for any length of time. Boom. It was never going to happen after that. But before that 57th minute goal, there was this period from the 33rd minute till that time where I went, there's a chance they could tie this back up. There's still a chance. Anything could happen. There was a couple Balogun runs that were kind of nice. There was a couple other things that were kind of good. When Blss went out, you went, crap, this isn't good, but maybe the guy who's coming in for him's got some speed and can kind of make up for this. But then that 57th minute goal happened and it was toast. It was toast strudels. Backbreaker. Mental breaker, even. So, but again, we're saying the same thing. They weren't good enough, period. With Blss, without Blss. They were losing when Blss went out. They weren't good enough. So they got to be better. So they're appropriately ranked with where this result for the USA was appropriate. They got to the round of 16. That's an improvement over the last time you were in the World Cup. Congratulations. Now go do better for the next couple years. Get to the next level. That's all you can really do about it.
And that's fine. And that's fine. I think the US is overranked. I think they're too high. I don't think they're 16th best team in the world. Not even, because Belgium, who's 8th or 9th, that's not a huge difference in terms of teams. 8th to 16th is not gigantic, right? But they were gigantically better. They were in my mind, they went up 2-1, 33rd minute, right? Yes, the 57th minute goal was a backbreaker, but they were going to score something anyway. It doesn't matter because the United States could not could not mount enough of an attack to hold the ball and score. That was not going to happen. They could not do it.
I hear what you're saying, but I still feel USA was better than Japan. USA was better than Senegal. USA was better than Uruguay. They proved that.
I don't
USA
know.
was better than Denmark, Iran, Austria, maybe not
Sure.
Egypt, actually. Egypt had kind of a weird thing. Egypt was 24th ranked going into all this, or at least coming out of all this. Like, I agree with you that they're not as good as any of the teams in front of them. Belgium, where was Belgium ranked? Oh, they were 8th. Yeah. So they lost to the better team. Like, there's nothing surprising about the result.
I understand that. That's not what I'm arguing.
And I feel like people end up really disappointed. What I think you're upset about, or what you're arguing about, is I think you're just mad that the world hyped them up. The USA, the US announcers, the general feel was that they're going to be better. I never bought into it, so it all felt very accurate.
That's not I'm partially saying that. But what I'm partially saying is that the fact that you hyped them up is one thing. The fact that they were not nearly as good as their ranking is another thing. That's what I'm telling you. The United States shouldn't be 16th in the world. Norway's better than them. Come on. Really? Norway proved it in this tournament. Norway was way better than the United States. Yeah, I wouldn't have. Yeah. I think the United States would have got crushed.
Yeah, and Norway jumped 12 spots from where they were previously ranked.
31st.
Because we learned a lot about them. The U.S. only went up 1 spot throughout this entire process because you were like, okay, they're a little better than we thought. They're not much better, but Norway, you went, oh shit, they're way better. So you moved them up freaking a quarter of the rankings.
Yeah, and that's fine. But what I'm telling you is the United States beat 0 teams that were equal or better than them. 0.
Did Argentina?
Well, they can't because they're first.
Well, I guess that's a fair point. I guess that's a fair point.
And the only team they lost to didn't give up but 1 goal all the whole tournament.
Yeah. People got so wound up in the expectations of the U.S. And if you didn't allow yourself to get wound up, then you watched that Belgium. You went into that Belgium game going, we're probably going to lose this. And then when it was down 2-1, you're like, yeah, this kind of makes sense. The 3-1 goal was a crazy one.
Yeah, I agree.
Like that's the kind of goal that isn't skill. There's not Belgium didn't just smoke them on that 3-1 goal. Beat them down the side.
I got it. I understand.
Header to the back of the goal. It was chaos.
Agreed.
It was George Russell spinning out at turn 1 chaos.
But because
it's unpredictable. And then what are you going to do with Tim Ream standing in goal ISO'd? Can't use his hands apparently because it's a red card. It's an easy goal. You just gave them. They're toddlers that could have made that from other countries.
Yeah, but you still have to be in the right place. You still have to make the right plays. You still have to be there. It's not like the United States kicked it in their own goal. You still have to have someone there.
Honestly, they might as well have.
Yeah,
because the moment the goalie's foot planted the ground and he did not do anything with it,
there was a dude right there
to stop.
Right? There was a dude right there. There was a Belgium guy right there to take the ball.
Because he's pressing the goal. Yeah. That's their offensive scheme. Yeah, pressing the goal.
I'm just saying that the United States didn't do that. The United States didn't take the ball from the goalie and score. How come? Because the goalie didn't make a mistake, number one. You're absolutely right. But also because the United States didn't do that. They don't do that.
They don't press the goalie the same way.
Because they don't have the same kind of players. They don't have the talent enough to do that. That's my problem, is the talent. It has nothing to do with...
So then we agree.
I'm not arguing with you. You keep telling me I'm mad about the hype. I'm not mad about the hype. You can hype it up all you want. That doesn't matter. The United States is not good enough to be where they are.
You were upset that the USA was ranked 16th.
Yeah, that's not hype. That's FIFA World Cup ranking.
Sorry, 17th before this. But what was wrong with that?
They're not good enough to be 17th. They're not even better than Italy, who didn't qualify for this damn cup. They're not good enough to be where they are. They are not that good. And it came out, and it was clearly apparent because as soon as they played one team that was better than them, they were manhandled, physically manhandled. That one mistake to the side.
Yeah. So were they better than Japan?
I don't know. They didn't play Japan. I can't tell you.
They would have been better than Japan.
I don't know.
No. It's an opinion-based question. If you don't know, that means you don't know how to assess.
Japan lost to Brazil 2-1.
It's either a yes, I think they would have, or no, I think they wouldn't have, or I cannot assess.
I think that
the rest of the conversation
that's not true.
That you can't assess accurately.
There's 3 options there. Don't even do that. Well, there's another option. There's another option, right? Don't tell me that they can't draw. It can't be a tie?
No.
You're asking if they're better than Japan. Can they be the same?
I'm not asking what the score result.
Can they be the same? Can they be equal?
Are they better than Japan?
Can they be equal?
Sure. Middle. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know means I'm not going to assign a ranking to either one. Okay. Because I don't believe that I can.
I'm not telling you Japan. Okay. I'll say the United States is better than Japan. That doesn't mean Japan's not overranked.
Is the USA better than Senegal?
I don't know. I can't tell you that. I would not necessarily say that.
I would wager to guess that they are.
I wouldn't.
Confident about that.
I wouldn't.
I would not say they're better than Norway.
Nope.
I'd say they're better than Uruguay because we saw what happened. We saw it.
What?
So there's not a lot of dispute there. We saw them beat Uruguay.
No, they beat Paraguay.
Oh, Paraguay. Sorry.
Yeah, not Uruguay.
So then do you think they would beat Uruguay?
I don't.
Well, let me rephrase the statement. Do you think they're better than Uruguay?
Yeah, I again, if you put
then you're going to go down this whole list and you're going to go, okay. And you're going to say, okay, we're going to put Norway in front of them. We're going to put, let's say we're going to put Uruguay in front of them. We're not going to put Denmark. We're not going to put Austria. Maybe we'll put Egypt up there, but we're going to take Italy out from being in front of them because Italy didn't even qualify. So why the hell are they up there? Right?
Neither did Denmark.
Ecuador probably behind them. Nigeria probably behind them. Turkey probably behind them. Australia. And then kind of you're making your way down the list. You feel pretty confident about the rest of it, which only moves them back like 2 spots.
Okay, I can't.
From where they are currently with teams behind them.
With your logic,
put a good showing forward that they could be moved in front of them.
That's fine. With your logic, that's right. You're right. But
I feel like that's an accurate way of doing that. If you want to look down at the teams behind them and say, I think this team's better, I think this team's better, I think this team's better, I think this team would have beaten the USA. You put those teams in front of them, you move them down, but really quickly you find out there's a lot of teams behind them that you don't think would have beaten them.
Okay.
In a straight up match, I don't think Wales has got them. I don't think Hungary. I don't think Serbia. I don't think Congo. I don't think Scotland. I don't think Sweden. I don't think Poland. I don't think Russia. I don't think Paraguay. I don't think Ukraine. I don't think Korea Republic. I don't think Cote d'Ivoire. Okay. I don't think Canada. So now you're not a lot of people to put in front of them. Then so maybe they're incorrectly ranked, but it isn't by much.
Okay. Then I will tell you this: the top 10 teams in the world are infinitely better than the USA, and the gap is gigantic.
That is, I think
gigantic.
I think Morocco's in a weird place with where they are. But yes, as a general rule, I would completely agree with that.
Well, Morocco was ranked 7th to start this World Cup.
I could argue that the top 10 teams are infinitely better than teams 14 down.
Yeah, well, I don't think Germany's as bad as we think. As 12, I don't think that's true.
That's exactly. Or sorry, 13. I said 13. Yeah, because Germany's 12, Colombia's 11. Those are both really good teams.
Croatia's going to lose 10. Luka Modric. He's retiring.
He's freaking 50 or whatever he is. So
Switzerland was better than you thought they would be.
I said 13 down. Yeah,
Switzerland jumped the USA, and I think they should have.
Yeah, and these rankings aren't, again, they're not terrible. Maybe there's a team or two behind them that should jump in front of them, but it's not many. If the USA is ranked 18th, are you going, that's fine? Or are you still like, that's way too high? They should be 50th.
That's fine, but I think what you should, this is what I think. Well, we should have a top 10, and then the next team is 20, because there's no reason to have these next 10 teams here. It really
doesn't change much. Yeah, to have them.
They're not there. There's none of those teams. You go, oh, Switzerland's better than Belgium. No,
it's
better than that. Yeah. No, they're not. And it's instantly
USA, Japan. You go.
I don't know, because
see a scenario where either
Japan was not terrible in this tournament.
I can see a scenario where either team wins. If USA plays Norway, I feel confident the USA would lose.
Like the way they were playing,
based on what happened this past, ending,
right?
Everything like that. Yeah, I feel confident about that. But if USA plays Senegal, I don't believe they would lose. I think they'd win that. They played Denmark. I don't think they would lose. If they play Iran, I don't think they would lose. So that's why I'm like, all right, maybe the USA has to move 2 or 3 spots down.
And I think,
but they're probably still a top 20 team.
Maybe
it doesn't change much of the seeding.
No,
there are a couple spots down within the World Cup.
It's not. Yeah, okay. We're arguing 2 different points of the same thing, but you're arguing about. I'm upset that the United States isn't good. The United States isn't in that tier of team. They're not that good, and to rank them as the 16th best team in the world, I don't think that's accurate. I don't, because they were not even near competitive, really, with Belgium. They're not. Aside from the free kick goal, let's take away the goal, the giveaway goal by the USA. They lose 3-0. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So they got a goal gifted to them by a free kick. They gifted a goal to Belgium, right? Yeah. And so it's 3-0. Okay. 3-0 is not a great outcome. No. You got beat by a superior team. You got manhandled. They were better than you.
1,000%.
Yeah.
That statement is never in doubt.
Okay.
Belgium is a better team.
Yep.
Manhandled, little different story, but better team, period. Well, it would have been 2-1, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. It doesn't matter. They're the better team.
Manhandled in the fact
the manhandling implies that you did it without them having ever had any sort of chance. This game was tied at 33 minutes.
With a free kick, you're right.
That means it doesn't fucking matter.
It does matter. You just hold on. You just said you just
had a garbage goal to put them up 3-1.
You add that, then that doesn't matter.
Agree.
Then the garbage goal doesn't matter. Quit referring to it.
You're the one who brought up the fact that it was a gifted goal.
Okay, the United States goal was gifted.
But then you also
and the other one was gifted.
Manhandled.
They did.
The other team.
They did.
Can't be true.
It absolutely can. If they didn't get a foul call on that play, the United States does not score in this game. Period.
Right.
So it's a 0 shutout. Maybe. Does that change everything? Does that change your opinion of this game 4-0?
We can't say what this game would have been if this did not.
Okay, so you want to go with if this happened, then it changed the rest of the game. Maybe.
No, what we can talk about is what did happen, which is that the United States got gifted a goal. Great. So did Belgium.
Okay.
All right. And then Belgium scored a garbage time goal. We discount those all the time in sports.
Okay.
We say that they're nothing.
Okay.
So if we want to call garbage goals, this game was 2-0. Okay. That's not a blowout. That's not a manhandling. It's just based on.
It's not score that makes things manhandled.
To say what you're saying.
Oh no, you're not.
Right now.
No, you're not.
Based on score is not the correct way to review it, right? Because what you're getting, I'm literally about to say what you're saying. You're saying that this game could have been 1-0. It wouldn't have mattered because possession would have been 80% Belgium, 20% US, couldn't maintain possession, couldn't make a pass, looking robotic, sluggish, slow, boom, 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 boom. Hit me with all the buzzwords there, CNBC, right? We got it. We know what we're doing here. I get what you're getting at, but how much further down are you going to place them in the rankings? That's what I was getting at. You can't put them much further down. There's not many more people worse behind them.
Right. That's two different things. The rankings versus how they played, how they got outplayed is different.
Outplayed, yes.
They got outplayed. They were outplayed at every physical possible way. I
honestly think the Donald Trump stuff kind of screwed them because it put an expectation on them to be good and win that was wildly unrealistic.
No, it gave Belgium motivation, first of all. Right? Belgium shouldn't have been in that situation because the United States should have been down a man. But
in theory,
and even then,
they would have been down a man. They would have been down that man, right?
They would have been out the best scorer on the team,
But they would have had 11 people. They're not down.
They would have still, they would have still played 11. But if you take out anybody's top scorer, that makes them a lot worse. Tell me that's not true.
In theory, yeah.
Okay.
Although I gotta tell you, I don't know how good this guy Belligan is because he came up and he was a big deal, and then he got in trouble, and then he was kicked out of the game, and then he came back and he did nothing. Like he came out of nowhere. Like this guy's not. He can't be the best player on the team when I've never heard of him. I've heard of Christian Pulisic. Everyone in the world's heard of Christian Pulisic. The only reason everyone in the world has heard of Belligan now is because of Donald Trump. Like he can't be that good of a guy. I would still argue that Christian Pulisic is probably still your best player, so long as he can stay healthy.
Yeah, I've given up on him being the team's best player.
How old is he?
He's not there. If he can't play, he can't be the best player.
He's 27 years old. He's so young.
Yeah, but he's missed so much. It's ridiculous. So
yeah.
He can't be the best player on the team if he can't stay on the field. And if Balogun is going to be your top scorer in the World Cup, how is he not your best player?
Yeah.
I mean, he has to be, right? He's and you saying you never heard of him. I hadn't either. Really? Yeah. I mean, I had heard the name, but I didn't.
I had actually heard of him a little bit here and there, but not much.
He's not good enough to be a best player on a team that's this highly ranked. He's not good enough. He's not. And none of them are. Christian Pulisic would be if he would stay on the field. He could be. He's just not to me.
Yeah.
He's just not. And he, if you're fragile enough to be hurt at every tournament, at every major event, at everything that happens that's important, then you can't be the number one player on a team because you're not going to be there when they need you. That's a real big problem. You've got to be on the field, otherwise
the best availabilities or best abilities availability. It is what it is.
And that's what I say. Belgium was bigger and stronger. They beat
1000%.
down the United States. That's the manhandling. They beat them. They were physically stronger than the United States.
The problem is the term manhandling is so brutal that we just saw 6 goals scored by England.
Yeah.
Right? Is that a manhandling of that goalie?
They gave up 4 of the goalie. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. It's a manhandling of that goalie. Why? Because not one of those was garbage. All of them were freaking clean.
It was the defense that gave up those goals. The goalie didn't. It wasn't that they just beat the goalie. They beat the defense.
I understand. I don't. A game that has a garbage time goal and then a crazy shenaniganery goal, and those are half of the goals scored by your team. And outside of those, the game is 2-1. Because if that game is 2-1, again, heading late, maybe the USA plays differently. Maybe not. Maybe they just keep getting their ass beat. Maybe it is. Maybe it is what it is. But who knows? When it's 2-1 late, you still think you have a chance. When it's 3-1 in the 90th minute, you don't think you have a chance.
Okay. Let's say this, shall we?
Yeah.
Spain beat Argentina on a goal in the 106th minute.
Yeah, and they should have beat them 2-0 in regulation.
Right. But they beat them on the 106th minute, right? It was 1-0. It was 0-0 to that point.
Right.
Would you not say Spain was manhandling Argentina to that point?
I would say, well, the difference is that Spain's style of offense, or defense/offense, because they're one and the same, is a possession-based team.
Okay.
To say that they manhandled it by passing it around and taking no chances with passes isn't exactly manhandling. Keep away isn't manhandling.
Hold on now.
Which is what Spain does until they get a moment. Until somebody makes a mistake and then they make a run. Spain is not out physicaling Argentina in that game. They played keep away for 60-something% of the game. That's the way they played all year. If you don't know that going into it, you can't give up the ball to them, because as soon as you do, it's going to be 10 minutes before you get it back at a minimum, because they're just going to keep bouncing the ball back and forth and back to the goalie. They're completely willing to abandon an attack, go all the way back to the goal just to prevent you from having the ball. It's not manhandling, it's keep away. So I wouldn't say those are the same. That being said, they never lost control of the game. That's not manhandling, but they had it the whole time. Even when things were getting called back, even when goals were getting called back, they were still the team. Argentina constantly looked like they were trying to figure it out and couldn't. Spain felt like they had it figured out. But I don't know if I call it when I think of manhandling, I think beat the other team to submission. Just absolutely, you're never going to touch this ball. And if you do, we're going to cleanly knock you off of it, take it away, and then we're going to keep you off of it by just beating you down while attacking. That doesn't happen with Spain. Spain did not keep attacking. They played defense a lot, and they backed up, and they slowed down. So that's the difference there. Belgium was more along that lines where they kept attacking and kept dispossessing us. But it didn't feel the same. If Belgium had done to us what Spain did to Argentina, it would have felt closer to manhandling. But it's still keep away. That's the problem with Spain. It's just the way they play. It's so flimsy. They're not flimsy. It's not flimsy. It's solid, but I don't know. It's averse. No risk. Oh, I want to pass it. I'm just going to go back. Oh, I want to go here. Oh, he's got to run. Not worth it. It needs to be clear and obvious run. Otherwise, we're not doing it. So that's just kind of it's hard. It's hard to compare the two because the way Spain plays, it's so unique. Well, it's not so unique, but it's unique within this context.
I feel like if you're the number one team in the world, and your first shot on goal is in the second half of extra time, and in the 117th minute, your first shot on goal, only the second shot. They only had 2 shots in the entire game. 1 shot on goal by Messi. If your first shot on goal is in the 117th minute, you have been manhandled. I don't care. You can call it what you want. That's what I'm using the term as, not just someone came up and beat you physically, but you couldn't do anything. You could not possibly have done anything. There's nothing you could do.
But that's what manhandling is.
Okay, then they must have beat him at some point.
I think the word you're looking for is dominant.
Yeah, both.
Manhandling implies physicality.
Okay.
Dominant is
and you don't think Spain was more physical than
Spain was
Argentina?
Dominant over Argentina. No, I don't think they were.
Okay.
I have no qualms about that. They were not a physically more imposing team. They did not impose their physicality on Argentina. They were dominant because they know how to maintain possession. That is their strength. That's how they won games. Google all that stuff all you want. That's the way they win.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with being faster
So
necessarily.
you're concerned.
It has nothing to do with being more stronger. It has everything to do with being more efficient.
We can all agree that
still domination, though.
So we can both agree that the team got dominated. You're upset that I used the term manhandling.
Yeah, because the term manhandling is, again, it implies a level of physicality that
Belgium did that to the United States.
Just brutishly overpowering.
Belgium did that to the United States. They were stronger and bigger, and they did it. They did that in the offensive zone for the United States, and the headers that what's his name scored. He ran over people to score them.
Tim Ream.
Yeah.
Tim Ream, who gave up 3 goals in this game.
Okay, so you want to blame it on Tim Ream? That's fine, and that's okay with me. That's fine.
That's who got ran over.
I understand that, but
block on a second one.
So he was as strong as that guy, is what you're saying, and he just, what happened then? How do you explain the goal then if he wasn't manhandled by the other guy who headed it over the top of him?
You literally can't even use your hands. You're fucking using the word handled, and you can't use your hands.
He didn't use his hands to go over the top of him. You watch that goal and tell me that didn't happen. Just go watch it.
Penalty on that play. Interesting. It's good that you bring.
Yeah, there were penalties all over the place that no one called. We can do that if you want.
If the referee doesn't call anything, you can manhandle anybody you want, right?
Yeah, but how come the United States didn't do that then?
There you go.
How come the United States didn't manhandle them then? How come Belgium's the only one manhandling anybody?
They tried to play the game the right way.
That's not true. That's wrong.
They tried to play the game the right way, and Belgium didn't, and the referees were on Belgium's side.
Okay. There you go. It was all rigged. It was all rigged. Okay, you're right. The United States lost a 4-1 game because it was rigged. You're right.
Hold on.
You're right.
You're trying to tell me that
the United States got their best player back and overturned a red card, and the game was rigged in Belgium's favor. Okay.
You're going to sit here and try and tell me that the World Cup didn't seem like it was slightly rigged this year?
You think that's what happened? You think the United States got their best player back on an overturned red card, and it was rigged in Belgium's favor? That's what you just said.
I was being fucking facetious and
okay.
clearly antagonistic.
Then let's not do that.
I just think you're wildly overzealous about the manner in which the USA lost.
They were beat hard.
And unwilling to bend on the fact that, yes, the other team was better. And your expectations led you to believe that they should have been more competitive. And the result you got disappointed you so much that you were unwilling to concede the next thing. Man, that's all it sounds like to me.
That's fine.
Because
you can sound like that to you all you want.
If two teams are relatively equal and the game is, even if one team kind of wins, kind of walking away, you still don't go, they kick the shit out of them. The only time you feel that is when your expectations of one team are severely blown out.
Did you feel like they were equal?
No.
Okay.
I didn't feel it before the game started.
Okay, so then I'm not wrong on that. Okay.
Yeah, but again, to say they got manhandled, I feel like is the statement I'm hung up on, because I feel like it doesn't accurately reflect the nature of the game.
I think you need to go watch it again. The United States was physically abused by Belgium.
I saw everything you saw. I watched.
Okay. They were physically abused.
And I still walked away with a different. Yeah, right. Because there's bloody people all over the field, right, and no foul calls.
They didn't call him. They don't call him. Hold on. Back up.
In a marginal contact sport,
you want to talk. You want to now. You want to talk about it being. Now you want to talk about lack of foul calls and it being fixed, because that's the reason Belgium won. Because it was. But they didn't call him for. The United States didn't foul people and take the ball. Why didn't they do that if it was possible? Why isn't it the same for the other team? You say like Belgium cheated. Why didn't the United States just cheat too? Why didn't they do the same thing? It was available, but they're not big enough or strong enough or fast enough to do that. That's why. It was not possible for the United States to win that soccer game. It was not possible. The way they came out and played was not, they could not have beaten Belgium. There was no chance because Belgium was bigger and stronger and faster. That's why. That's a manhandling.
Those things can all be true, but in a marginal contact sport, you can't use the phrase manhandling unless you're also implying that there's some level of uncalled physicality.
Both sides. It's same both ways.
You just made it clear just a second ago. USA was incapable of it.
That's what I'm saying. It was even. That's exactly what I just said. You didn't hear me. You didn't hear me. You aren't listening to me.
Which means that Belgium clearly had to go out there and physically overpower people.
Right.
Both using their hands and their bodies.
Yes.
Which would be, in theory, penalties in a marginal contact sport.
Yes.
I'm not sitting here actually saying that Belgium won because these penalties weren't called. I'm not actually saying that.
You're right.
Understand that I'm being antagonistic.
Figure
that out in the process, because I believe Belgium should have won this game and did win this game because they were better, bigger, stronger, more physical.
Okay.
Say the
That's all we gotta have.
In a sport that doesn't allow physical contact.
Oh, absolutely it does, and you know that.
Beyond, legally speaking, beyond mild
shoulder-to-shoulder tackles are absolutely legal, and it absolutely you can knock people off the ball.
Beyond mild instances, physical contact is not a part of soccer.
Okay.
It's allowed because it's the way that they play it, but it's not legally allowed. So if one team comes out and plays legally, the other team comes out and plays illegally, but it's not called, it is what it is. You're going to get the result you get, right? Like, you can't do anything about it. If they never call Leo Messi for a foul, you don't ever have to worry about him going off the field. Let him do whatever the fuck he wants and step on anybody's ankles. Just let him do it, because you're not concerned with the outcome of his play, because it doesn't matter. It's inconsequential. Because the rules say that this was a penalty and you don't call it, it changes the entire flow of everything. But regardless, I do agree that the USA was not as good. I've been on that hill since this started.
I understand.
I just think that you are. I think that you're just disappointed. That's it. I think you're so disappointed that you don't know what else to call it, because calling it a marginal victory feels like you were close, and you don't want to feel close.
They weren't close.
You want them to feel shame for the way that
they weren't even close.
This is your way of attacking USA soccer for that outcome.
Can you admit for just 1 second that Spain dominated Argentina in a 1-0 game that sounds close but was never close?
Agreed.
Okay, so it can be not close in a close game. Is that not true?
Right.
Okay, this was that game. You can talk about it should have been 2-0. Belgium only scored 2 legitimate goals. Okay, if the United States was gifted one and they gifted one away and the late goal for Lukaku, and you do whatever, a 2-0 game can be dominant. You can get manhandled in a 2-0 game.
My hang up comes in that exact phrasing.
Yeah. Well, if the other team is more physical than you and they score by going over the top of you and you didn't do it, why didn't the United States do it?
Over the top of you and through you.
Yeah. Why didn't the United States do that then? If they were bigger and stronger and could have done it, they would have. Bad coaching? No, it's not big enough players. They don't have the personnel.
Okay, so what you're saying is, if I put a 8-foot monster on the field and he plows clean over somebody.
Yep. Got it.
Straight through him.
Yep.
And then scores a goal.
Yep.
And there clearly should have been a foul for his movements.
Yep.
But they didn't call it.
Yep.
It is a manhandle.
Yeah, he's manhandled him. He just absolutely ran over the top of him. He did exactly what he did, which is use his physicality to score. And if no one calls it,
and red card him,
then you would have seen it in the final score. You would have seen it in the final score. If he'd have gotten red carded and got thrown out, if they'd have called fouls, you would see it at the end result.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right. You ready to be right? You're right. They got manhandled. Move the fuck on. Jesus Christ, this is getting teased because it doesn't actually matter. They were worse. If they would have lost 7-1, it's accurate. If they would have lost 1-0, it's accurate. It doesn't matter. They were the worst team. You're so hurt that they didn't play better. That's it.
I don't think
that's all it is. Because you want them to feel embarrassed. You want to chastise them. You want to say, you got your asses kicked. You're pieces of shit. You're terrible. You're bad. You're small. There's so much bigger than me. You are unwilling to come off of that for the sake of just going, they were the worst team to start. Your expectations are broken. No one else's. Well, a lot of people's. That's not fair, actually. A lot of people's expectations are broken, but those are unrealistic expectations to begin with. Either way, though, it was appropriate. They lost to the team they were going to lose to, which was the question to begin with, was did the U.S. overachieve, underachieve, or hit it? They hit it. It was what it was. They did better than last time, right? What did they do in 2022? Did they make the World Cup in 2022?
I don't remember.
I can't remember either, actually. But I know the last couple. This is the first time they've made the round of 16 since 2000 and what, or 1990 what?
94 was the last time they won a knockout game.
So was that the last time they got to the knockout round? Or
no.
When the last time they got to the knockout round? That's what I want to know.
2000.
Because it's been a while since that.
I don't know, 2002 or 2000.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole thing coming into this was, can they do better than they did last time? They did. They did better than last time. They did better than the last couple times.
Yeah.
Still lost to the team that was better than them. Yep. That's it.
And yeah, that's fine. That's fine. They also played every game at home. So, all right. I mean, it's hard. It's much harder to get beat at home. You play a lot better, right? I mean, it's
the luck of the draw that you managed to be in this World Cup at this time.
Well, so, I mean, I'm just saying, if you put any of these teams at home to play all their games, they're going to do better than they did last time. I promise you that.
God, you'd hope so, right?
Yeah, they have to. I mean, there's no travel, hardly any. The United States is big. There's travel, but there's no travel. I mean, you don't have to go. You don't have to go to another country and get your damn 220 adapter. You don't have to do that kind of shit.
Well, tell me in a climate change to go from Miami or practicing in Alabama to go to Inglewood or up to Seattle.
Yeah, maybe
the U.S. is bigger than Europe.
But the United States didn't do that. They went from Inglewood to Santa Clara to Seattle.
Yeah, they didn't have to go very far, but that's not their fault.
I mean, no, it's whoever made the schedule.
Blaming it on them or accrediting it to them is irrelevant.
No,
this was decided before half these kids were even playing college soccer.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, so it's not that they just play the hand you're dealt, right?
Yep, you're right.
Yeah. So but I think they did. I did think they did fine. They did appropriate for what's it called? Looks like they actually reached the round of 16 in 2022. 2014 and 2010. They've reached the round of 16 in every round.
Yeah, they reached the knockout stage, but they didn't win a game.
No. These are all losses. Netherlands, Belgium, Ghana. So they lost to Belgium in extra time back in 2014 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Not too history there. Yeah, they just. But I mean, they got here, so it's at least on par with their performance.
I guess.
Do you think this U.S. men's national team was better than the 2022 one?
This also was an expanded knockout stage. There was one extra stage, right? So if you won your group, you were going to play a team that was third in another group and not second. So there was a chance you were playing a lesser team than you would have in the last World Cup. So
play a team that was third in your group and not second.
Because they had third in another group. The United States, Bosnia was third in their group.
Gotcha.
In the past World Cups, second was the worst. If you didn't finish second or better, you weren't moving on because there was only a round of 16 and then forward. 2 teams from each group. Now they have 3 teams. They expanded it. So that first round of knockout, everybody's like, oh, we made it. We won a knockout game. Yeah, against shittier teams. Let's be fair. They're teams that finished third in their group, not second. Nah, okay. That's different. That's a different level. You're playing a different level opponent. United States played Bosnia, 61st in the world as one of the top 32 teams in the final. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's not like playing Mexico, because Mexico finished second in their group and the United States finished first in their group. That's a different world. So the quality of opponent in that first round where they got a knockout win, if you want to say they did better, you can, but they played an extra game because there was an extra round and it was against the worst team that they played in the entire World Cup. Okay. Worst ranked team. So that win is meh to me. Okay, we won a knockout group stage against a shitty team. Come on, let's be fair. Bosnia wasn't very good. But all right.
Yeah. But is that their fault?
I mean, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that. I mean, I understand you can only play who you can play, but you have to take. We're not talking about should they or could they. We're talking about were they better? No, they weren't
Belgium
any better.
To score on Spain for the entirety of the World Cup.
Correct.
If there was a team that beat the USA, maybe Belgium was just way underappreciated. Maybe Belgium's the second best team.
It might be, and you won't know because they don't keep playing.
They scored one more goal than Argentina did with. I'm gonna say 100% less superstars.
Yeah,
not that they don't have talent, but like
if you don't play other games against those other teams from other groups, then you don't know.
It's hard to know. All I know is that Belgium beat us and then scored a goal on Spain, which nobody else did. Belgium might have been the second or third best team in this whole entire World Cup. If Belgium is ranked third and beat us that way, do you still feel like it was a bad showing? Or is it like, that team's way better than you. Like they
absolutely
should beat you like this?
No, I mean they should win. Any of those teams should. I mean, you name any of those teams that are 8 and above.
The top 5 teams should beat the U.S. 4-0.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I feel like
Spain won't because they don't have possession.
It's just say it's the way you play. It's the way you lose. It's not it has nothing to do with how necessarily good. It's matchup of styles and sizes and teams. Your personnel dictates all of that. And if your team isn't big enough and you run up against a team that's bigger than you, guess what happens? You get out physical. It happens in basketball. It happens in football. It happens in every sport.
Possession and outpassed Belgium.
Yeah, they had the ball because United States had quicker, more. The United States plays a style of soccer where they pass the ball without thinking about it. Boom, 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 boom. There's 4 passes. Okay, great. You didn't go nowhere. You just went around a circle. That's great. That doesn't do you any good. None of it was forward. None of it was attacking. None of it was possessing the ball in the box. None of it looked like, hey, we're about to score because we are strong enough, big enough, fast enough to get inside of them, behind them, around them, control, and not get knocked off the ball. That never materialized. That was just never the case. And that's what I'm saying. They were not at that point. Their players are not good enough to win against the Belgium defenders. They're just not.
Belgium's strategy is sound enough.
They're just better.
It's a combination of both of them.
Where do the United States attackers? You take the top 4 attackers for the United States. Where do they play soccer? And I'll bet not a one of them.
Where was Blss? Blss was.
He played
somewhere.
He's playing in Italy now somewhere.
Pretty sure Balogun plays in Morocco.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at their strategy here. Belgium plays a 4-2-3-1, which means that they're sitting with 9 guys below the midfield line. The USA is only playing with 3 guys above it. So the strategy leans towards Belgium's defense, numbers wise, men wise.
Yeah.
Throwing the fact that they're bigger. I actually don't know how much they're bigger. I could actually probably just pull their rosters side by side and find out if they are actually that much bigger. Because I don't actually know. But just strategy wise, this is in favor of Belgium playing light on the attack, and heavy on the defense, which would explain why we couldn't get behind anybody. Right? We're running 3 strikers upfield. We're running 6 guys upfield against 7, with 4 guys playing light and back. Like it's just not the best matchup necessarily. But yeah, no, I don't know their roster sizes, man.
Well, then that's coaching. That's bad coaching. If you can't figure out a way,
what I said earlier.
If you can't figure out a way to do what the other team isn't expecting, to do something different, then I don't know what to tell you. But when you came out and played your game against their game, it wasn't good enough. You're absolutely not good enough. So you needed to find another way.
And that was expected based on their next year.
Yeah, but
they were going to be the worst team in the
But you have to find another way, and they didn't. They couldn't. There was nothing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have to try it. That's the one thing I'll concede. It didn't feel like they changed their strategy, even while they were losing. It didn't feel like they really did much different. They made a couple runs late after it was 3-1. It kind of looked like something could happen, but it never quite got there. It just never was. It was never quite right because most of all they just kind of played the same. The whole time. So, but yeah, regardless of that, Belgium was the better team. We knew it going in. We knew it coming out. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. You said you had other questions about the World Cup, though.
I don't.
Oh, you just had the one about was the USA in the accurate placement
and Argentina.
But yeah. And Argentina, yeah. Argentina, I mean, they got carried. They should have lost to Cape Verde. Cape Verde collapsed and gave up 3 goals, which were aided by some questionable free kicks. But not as questionable as the Egypt game,
right,
where they reviewed film back 30-something seconds and took away a goal.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you did that every time? Just we're like, well, okay, this team just scored. Let's go back and look and see if we can find a foul somewhere close to the ball over the last 30 seconds. Like, you're going to find one. There's one out there because they're always fouling each other.
Yeah, there's always a foul.
Yeah. Soccer is just it's the hardest sport on earth to watch, and the reason why it's never accepted by the U.S. is because, like, really accepted, is because it just can't compete. It's too adjustable.
There's two ways to fix it, and they, for some reason, they don't want to. Soccer does not want to change. The two ways to fix it are, number one, you have to call fouls. You have to call fouls for simulation. You have to call when someone flops. You have to call those things. Yeah. You have to give a card, not just call a foul. You've got to give cards. If you don't give a card, there is no penalty. It's just a free kick, and we just move on.
Walking up to somebody and moving your hands like, nope, don't do it again.
Yeah, that doesn't do anything. You have to give a card because a card is now punishable. And if they want to review it, let them review it. But at least you've got it on record. This was a foul, and it was a hard foul, and it shouldn't have been. Or it was no foul, and this guy acted like it was, right? Yellow card. Boom. Secondly, why are there not more officials out there? Why do we have one goddamn official running through the middle?
At least one more. Have them do halves. And
you could put four. A group of four running up and down the field, and you could still have linesmen on the sides. You know, group of four, these two guys are on this half of the field, these two guys are on this half of the field. You don't have to run very far. You aren't going to get winded. You're not going to miss anything. You won't be out of position. Oh my God, this is easy. Why are we not doing that? Because they don't want to. That's the only reason. They don't want it that way. They don't want to call fouls. It slows the game down, and no one's going to be happy. And all of a sudden, you've got a game that doesn't score ever because it's always a foul all the time, and they don't want that.
Yeah. No, it's brutal. And also free kicks or goal kicks.
Penalty kicks?
Penalty kicks. I don't like them. The percentage is so low of a save.
Yeah, it's amazing when it happens. It's just it shouldn't be decided on that.
At least in hockey, the goalie is roughly the size of the goal.
Yeah, right. It's harder to get it by him. Yeah,
it's his placement that kind of opens some things up, and then that compared with your skill. In soccer, I can't tell you how many times I've watched a goalie just dive to the right and the ball goes to the left.
Yeah, you've got to guess. I mean, you really have to guess.
You're guessing based on, I get it. Everyone's going to tell me you're guessing based on film. You're watching his movements as he's approaching the ball. You're trying to do that. Another thing you got to take away. Take away the stutter step.
The stutter step. Take it up. Yep, doesn't need to be there. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm trying to guess where he's going to go, and he can come to a complete halt.
Right.
And then keep going. Although, actually, I don't think, legally speaking, they're allowed to come to a stop.
They got to keep
forward
moving.
Motion goes, but they do that weird, like, lean forward while they shuffle their feet.
Right.
It's like cartoon characters out there. You got to fix it. It's easy fixes.
There are easy fixes. They won't do it, though.
Because as soon as you do it, you lose the ability to blame kind of the ether that is soccer. It's the same reason baseball won't go full autonomous with balls and strikes. They won't do it because you lose the ability to blame somebody.
Yep.
Soccer won't go to another rep. They won't change some of these things because you lose the ability to blame people. If you can fire a rep at any point for a bad game, but it doesn't change the outcome, that's worth it to save the money from the game. Versus, it's just our system. Yikes. Sorry about that. Like, how do you come back from that? So that's just the problem with it. But they can fix it pretty easy. I think that Americans want to take soccer on. I just don't think they will without a little more solidarity in the sport. It needs to feel like you know what you're going to get. Like that a slide tackle might be a red card, might be no card, might be nothing. Like, you don't know.
Yeah, it's not. It's subjective too. Also, to where's the referee when he saw it? What angle does he have? Right? Because at lower levels, there's high school. There's no VAR.
Mm-hmm.
So high school referee going to not call something that is clearly a foul because he didn't see it. He's the only guy and he's out of position. So I mean,
I've seen more fouls called in high school soccer than I've ever seen.
Yeah, they call a lot of them
in a regular soccer match.
They stopped calling them at some point, and I'm like, well, it's still a foul. Just because they're now college kids or they're now semi-pros doesn't mean not a foul. It's still a foul. They just they stop calling it.
The same thing about basketball, which is, we don't want to change the game late by calling fouls.
Yeah,
by not calling fouls, you're
changing the game. Right. But you can't blame us for changing it.
But you can't blame us for changing.
Right.
A no call is a hard thing to argue.
Right.
And it's a hard thing to take a stance on one way or another versus a call. You can be like, that was wrong or that was right. So a no call is like debatable. But yeah, I mean, but you watch Leo Messi made his way through an entire World Cup, not getting hardly any calls on him, just absolutely mauling people left and right. It's insane to watch. They should have lost 2 other times, but we had to deal with it. We had to have them be there because it was important for sales and for money and for Shakira out there. No, she's Colombian, but for Shakira out there at the halftime show, it was important for all of those things for them to have it be that way. All this World Cup did was make me believe more that soccer is the most manipulatable sport.
Oh yeah, probably.
It
didn't do anything to help
ignore it, right? And then Donald Trump calling down and getting
what is that about?
Balogun's card pulled, like that. Tell me it's not manipulatable. Like
yeah, that was dumb.
That was the most evident thing. It wasn't pulled. It was suspended, which is the same thing that Ronaldo's card was.
Yeah, they
suspended.
They can give it back to him.
Yeah, well, they're going to give it back to him in 1 year.
Why would you?
It's not a World Cup year.
Why would you do that though? I mean, why?
It's so dumb.
That's dumb, right?
We just give a card today and just issue it next year.
Yeah, that always is like, to me, it's like when a football player commits a crime that isn't super serious, but it's serious enough, and at the end of the season you need to turn yourself in. Bullshit. Fuck that. That's not okay. You don't get to pick.
Happened?
Yes, absolutely. You get to pick when you come to jail. No, that's not okay. You don't get to pick. I don't get to pick. Why does he get to pick? Right?
Well, wait. When is that?
Oh, you have to look in the past. You'll have to go.
I've seen about like so and so surrendered themselves to police officers, went to the police station, they made contact with police, and that's to prevent like a tensious moment of like police busting down a door necessarily.
If you look,
when both parties were already aware,
right?
But I don't know if I've ever heard of one where it's like, hey, you're talking about deferred jail time.
I'm talking about deferred jail time.
Oh, so post crime,
correct? Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that is crazy.
Yeah, you got to do 60 days, but you don't have to do it during the season. You can do it whenever you want.
We'll let you wait till after.
Yeah.
That is absolutely fun. I thought you were like turning.
No, I'm not talking about a guy on the run.
I've seen that happen a couple times where a warrant's issued and somebody turns themselves in. Like,
a day later. I'm not talking about a wanted dude. I'm talking about a guy who's already been sentenced. You don't have to do it now.
Insane.
Yeah, because Joe Schmo doesn't get that. You don't get that. I don't get that. Why do they get that? That's not okay.
I mean, that's crazy that somebody could be like, I do have to go to jail for 180 days, by the way, but later.
But later, I'll do it in the summer when I don't have anything going on.
Yeah, when I don't have workouts, and I do this Nike ad, and then after that Nike ad,
right? And I'm going to donate, $500,000 to the policeman's fund. So there's that, right? So I can serve it when I want. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, that I've heard once or twice where people
that
served it later. Being fair, we have a lot of politicians who have done deferred.
Yep. They shouldn't get to either. Nobody should get that. If I don't get it, you shouldn't get it. I don't care who you are. There's no good reason for it. You committed a crime, you do the time, and you do it now. You don't do it later.
If you're willing to defer a jail sentence, just change what the sentence is. Like, I need you to do community service.
Yeah, just do it. Make it different.
It's clearly not important that they're in jail.
Yeah, it's not important enough.
It's not important enough to make them go right now. So they're not a violent offender. This is probably never going to happen for like a violent person, but like it's probably not a violent offender. So like, let's just change it from a jail time to I need you to do 200 hours of community service starting immediately.
Whatever.
Like, at least you're doing something if you're going to be out and not because even if you do report to jail after the season's over, what a waste of time.
I would rather you
be using.
I would rather you throw it out and tell me there was some reason for it, technicality or whatever, than tell me, oh, he's guilty, but he don't gotta go to jail right now. Whatever. That's not okay. That's never going to be okay with me. So, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's a garbage thing. But it's the same kind of feel. It's like, oh, Here, you're going to get a suspension.
Rashee
Next
Rice
ye-
is the most
next
recent
year.
one.
Yeah, next year you're going to get a suspension.
Rashee Rice pleaded guilty to third-degree felony charges from a high-speed crash.
Yep.
He received 5 years of deferred probation and a 30-day jail sentence because of a later probation violation. In order to serve the 30 day. Oh, so it was a deferred probation with a 30-day jail sentence if there was an issue, and then he violated his probation. Then
Yeah, he couldn't even do the deferred thing. He couldn't even not do something bad after. He's violated his probation. I don't understand why. What? Oh
yeah, that to me is a crazy one. Like somebody like,
yeah.
What do you like as a millionaire with unlimited resources at your disposal?
Yep.
A Richard Sherman got a DUI. I'm like looking through a list of them now. Richard Sherman got a DUI. He had a deferred sentence. There's a couple other guys like that. You'll never be able to explain to me how somebody who has $1 million can't buy an Uber.
Yeah.
Like, that's the craziest thing. And apparently, I found out recently, talking to somebody who knows a bunch of NFL players, the NFL has a service
to come get you.
Yeah,
you don't
get
have
your car.
Yeah, but I want to drive my Bentley. I want to drive my Ferrari. I want to drive my whatever, right? I want to show it off.
The dumbest stuff. I mean, it just goes to show if you give dumb people, because there's a lot of people that don't do this, but there's still dumb people in the NFL, just the way there's dumb people in society. You give dumb people a lot of money, they're going to make a bad decision at some point.
Yeah,
it's going to happen.
That's true. Dumb people do make bad decisions. Sometimes.
Sometimes too often in the NFL.
All right. Well, let me do this because we got it. Which one of these? None of these controls that. That's awesome. That's just loud as heck, dude.
Oh, it didn't seem that loud to me.
It was loud as heck in my earphones, and I can't control it. None of my sliders were controlling that sound at all. So we're going to just do this. We want to thank everybody for listening. This has been a Brain Rock production, a division of Lonely Tree Media. And we'll see you next week. Are we going to do it next week?
Next week it is.
We'll do it next week. We'll see everybody next week.